In many quiet American neighborhoods, life doesn't collapse loudly. It collapses in silence. No alarms. No warnings. Just ordinary days that slowly stop feeling ordinary. That was exactly how it began for Emily Carter. A woman living what looked like a stable middle-class life. A long marriage. 2 children. A home built over nearly 2 decades. From the outside, nothing was wrong. But life rarely breaks where people are looking. It breaks where no one is paying attention. It happened on a Thursday evening. A normal day. Dinner had been eaten. The house was quiet. Emily was folding laundry when Daniel Carter sat across from her and said something that didn't sound real at first. "I don't want this marriage anymore." No shouting. No build-up. No warning. Just silence. And then the sound of a chair moving. And a suitcase opening. That night, Daniel didn't sleep in the house. By morning, he was gone. And what remained behind wasn't just a broken marriage. It was a life that no longer had its foundation. At first, Emily believed this was emotional. Something painful. Something personal. But within days, the truth began to shift. Bills arrived. Notices followed. Accounts she didn't recognize started appearing. Debt she had never heard of suddenly carried her name indirectly. The life she thought she shared was not fully the life that existed. And what made it worse was that Daniel was not reachable. No clear explanation. No clarity. Just absence. At night, silence became heavier than the separation itself. But then something unexpected happened. A small conversation with a friend about a struggling business. Emily gave simple advice. No title. No plan. No intention. Weeks later, that business improved. And then came the question, "Can you help me with more of this?" She wasn't a consultant. She wasn't trained. But she said yes. That yes became the beginning of something she didn't understand yet. 1 client became 2. 2 became 5. Slowly, work started forming around her. Not stability. Not success. But direction. She began learning at night. Studying. Trying. Building while still emotionally unstable. But growth doesn't arrive clean. Clients left. Projects failed. Money came and went. And at times, she thought about stopping everything. But going back wasn't possible anymore. Because there was nothing to return to. Then came the turning point. A regional company needed consulting help. Big opportunity. High pressure. High risk. If she succeeded, everything would change. If she failed, everything would collapse. She prepared like her life depended on it. Because it did. When she signed that contract, it didn't feel like success. It felt like survival finally turning into progress. For the first time in a long time, things were working. But success never stays stable for long. Because what Emily didn't know yet was that this opportunity would eventually pull her into something far bigger than she expected. And something from her past was about to return. Emily didn't expect to see Daniel again. Not after everything. Not after years of separation. But the message came anyway. "We need to talk." When he arrived, he wasn't the same man she remembered. Not broken. Not emotional. Just different. More distant. More cautious. He didn't waste time. "I didn't come for closure," he said. "I came because your business is being pulled into something that started long before it existed." That sentence changed everything. Because this was no longer emotional history. It was structural history. Daniel placed documents on the table. Old financial records. Legal structures. Historical links from their marriage years. Emily didn't open them immediately. She already felt what they meant. He continued. "When I left, I thought I had separated everything cleanly." A pause. "But I didn't finish it properly." Emily finally spoke. "So this is because of us." Daniel shook his head. "Not because of us. Because of what we built together and what was never fully separated." And that changed everything. Not betrayal. Not reconciliation. But consequence. Because systems don't forget. Even when people do. Over the next months, investigations began. Audits. Documentation requests. Financial reviews. Emily was no longer building anymore. She was explaining. Defending. Clarifying. But she didn't collapse. She responded with structure. Transparency. Consistency. And slowly, clarity replaced uncertainty. Then came the final call. The review is complete. No fraud found. A pause. But historical financial overlap has been documented. Not destruction. Not collapse. Just resolution. Months later, Emily met Daniel one last time. No anger. No emotion. Just silence. "It's over," he said. Emily nodded. Not because everything made sense, but because it didn't need to anymore. Then she asked him one final question. Did you ever think it would end up like this? Daniel shook his head. No. I thought I was ending something. A pause. But I was only changing its form. And that was the truth. Nothing had ended. It had evolved. The marriage ended. The business rose. The past returned. And everything connected in ways neither of them fully understood at the time. Months later, life stabilized again. The noise faded. The pressure disappeared. But Emily had changed. Because success no longer felt like victory. It felt like endurance. And one evening, standing in her office overlooking the city, she built her second life, and she finally understood something. Not every ending is clean. Not every story is simple. Some lives are meant to be lived through, not explained quickly. And sometimes the people who leave your life don't define your downfall. They define the version of you that had to rise afterward. Before you go, subscribe for more real-life inspired documentary stories like this, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one.